What's going on, guys, and welcome to episode 168 of the Tasty Cast, our weekly podcast where we talk about all things gaming. My name's Seth, and joining me today is not Chevy, but Sarah. Welcome to the Tasty Cast. You haven't been on before?
Hi, true.
Hopefully you're excited to talk about a lot of things with me today.
Sure.
And Chevy is not joining us this episode because he is on vacation, so we're going to let him enjoy his life, and we're going to do this without him. So it's going to be a lot of fun. We got a lot of things to talk about. It's the first Tasty Cast of the month, so we got to talk about game releases. But before we jump into all the common fare, I completely forgot that even though E3 is not happening this year, it is E3 season, and it is June, and so we got a lot of things coming up that I just remembered today. So in case you don't know what we're doing, I'm going to do maybe a test stream later on tonight, but just because I haven't done it in a while. But Thursday, Summer Game Fest is happening, so I plan on streaming that, and of course you can join me if you want. We can talk about it, but that's going to be happening. I'm a working boy, so I will be doing my stream late at night. It'll probably be around midnight to maybe 12:30, I don't know. But PST, I'm on West Coast. So yeah, that's the plan. I'll be reacting to that, and then also Devolver Digital Direct 2022 is happening as well. So on Thursday night, I plan on reacting to both of those things live. So make sure to join me for that, whether you watched it earlier in the day or you want to wait and suffer like me, not check the internet and come and join me for that. I will be reacting
Eat some
to
chili
that.
dogs, dude.
True. And then Friday, we got IGN Expo. I'm going to try and read the room on that and see if there's anything worth maybe reacting to for that without, finding out, I guess. It's gonna be tricky, but yeah, I would like to react to that. So we will see on Friday night if I stream for that. And then Guerrilla Collective 3 is happening on Saturday. Those aren't typically that interesting, but we'll see. We'll see. And then Sunday, we got Xbox and Bethesda Games Showcase. This is a must for me. I will definitely be reacting to that Sunday night. I'll let you guys know as it happens. It's going to be a busy week. I completely forgot this was happening until earlier today. So it's a lot all of a sudden. But the show must go on. PC Gaming Show, I might look into what's shown there. A lot of times that lasts like 4 hours, and there's like 2 things worth watching on it. So I don't know if I'm going to stream that whole thing. And then Monday, Capcom Showcase is happening, so I'll be reacting to that as well, especially with all the big things that have been announced from Capcom lately during State of Play. I want to know if we'll be seeing more of these and maybe other reveals, although I feel like they've already shot their wad, so we'll see. So that's the plan.
So breathy when you say that.
I'm very excited. I'm breathy in general because there's a lot to read, and I'm just out of breath even thinking about all the things that are coming. So yeah, Thursday through Monday, a lot of things we'll be reacting to live. So make sure to subscribe if you're new and for some reason you're still listening to me, or check me out on Twitch, which I will be dual streaming on both. I am Tasty Senpai over there. Link down below. So yeah, a lot of things coming up, and we're still doing a Taste Cast right now. So, goddamn, it's a lot of content coming out this week from us to you guys because we love you guys so much. So that's the plan. Let me know if you have any feedback in the comments below about what you would like to see from us in terms of what's coming up soon. And are you excited about Summer Game Fest? Are you? Mm-hmm. I'm very excited. It's a Jeff Keighley event, so it means there's going to be huge reveals. He did tell people to try to keep their expectations realistic because I guess they're going to be showing off a lot of things that already exist that people know about, so not a whole lot of world premieres. Some people are kind of upset about that, but he kind of said that, well, we showed you guys the big first trailer of gameplay for Elden Ring. You already knew that was coming. So, there's a lot of things, especially on the Xbox side, a lot of games in the pipeline that we're not seeing a whole lot of, so maybe we'll see some Xbox stuff there.
Maybe it's a hype building tactic.
Probably.
It's like, well, don't get too excited here, but here's Elden Ring.
Sure. Well, I'm thinking also, potentially if he keeps people's expectations down low, he can get away with showing off some really big things. Yeah. Maybe a Kojima thing. That'd be fucking dope.
Keely's not gonna let me down.
Yeah, hopefully not. Hopefully not.
He better not.
All right, so let's jump into, well, it's the first Taste Cast of the month, so let's jump into game releases. We're going to go through June's game releases and talk about our hype and not hype for these games, and there are quite a bit of games coming out this month. So I'm going to go through the list, and then we'll talk about what we are anticipating. All right, so it is June, in case you did not know, and I barely knew because I feel like we're so far in this month already, and I barely remember entering it. So to be announced in June is Lego Brawls for Switch. I don't know anything about that, and apparently this site doesn't either. So June 1st, we got Silt on PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series, and Switch and PC. And then June 7th, Spellforce 3 Reforced came out on PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series. Then on June 8th, we got Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic 2, The Sith Lords out on Switch. June 10th, Mario Strikers Battle League comes out on Switch. Then on June 10th, we got Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba, the Hinokami Chronicles coming out on Switch. June 10th as well, we got The Quarry coming out on PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series, and PC, so everything pretty much except for Switch. June 15th, we got Starship, or June 6th, 15th. This is 15, right?
I think it's a 16,
okay.
actually.
16. Okay, so June 16th, corrected. Starship Troopers, Terran Command coming out on PC. And then on June 21st, we got Wreckfest again coming out on Switch. That game just keeps coming out on everything. June 21st as well, we got Fall Guys Ultimate Knockout coming out on PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series, and Switch. I'm wondering if that's the free-to-play version that they keep talking about, because otherwise I feel like it already came out on everything. June 21st as well. This seems to be the day of June that everything comes out. We got Shadowrun Trilogy coming out on PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series, and Switch. June 23rd, we got Sonic Origins coming out on PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series, Switch, and PC. June 23rd, we had Deliver Us the Moon on PS5, Xbox Series. And then June 24th, Fire Emblem Warriors 3 Hopes comes out on Switch. Also on June 24th, we got Capcom Fighting Collection coming out on PS4, Xbox One, Switch, and PC. Then June 28th, we got MX vs. ATV Legends on PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series, and PC. Then on June 28th, we got DNF Duel on PS4, PS5, PC. June 30th, Cuphead in the Delicious Last Course. PS4, Xbox One, Switch, and PC. No PS5 apparently, but I'm sure you can play it on there. June 30th, Outriders World Slayer comes out on PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series, and PC. Holy shit, it's already coming out. And then last and definitely not least, June 30th, we got Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak coming out on Switch and PC. Sarah, what games are just, I know you're very much like me in this sense. How many games did you buy in this month? All of them?
No, probably not all of them.
Which ones are you looking at?
I won't buy Fall Guys because it's going to be free.
You don't even need to. Got it for free on PlayStation Plus as well.
True. I am excited for Starship Troopers Terran Command.
Okay. Interesting.
I don't really have any expectations for like if it's going to be good or not, but I am a fan of Starship Troopers. Mm-hmm. And I'm like 90% sure it's an RTS.
I think it is.
Yeah.
I don't know much about it.
I don't know. That's the kind of the vibe I got from it. But I like Starship Troopers. I like RTSs, and so I'm hoping that it's cool and that I can at least enjoy it. So
yeah, that's
the
the hope for any game.
It's going to be like the game of the year for me or anything, but who knows? Maybe it will be.
True.
I'm not personally super excited for Cuphead, but I know that that's like a long-awaited DLC. Cuphead,
it's the last one
in the Delicious Last Course. Of course, I'm super excited for Outriders World Slayer. I think that's going to be a cool opportunity to play Outriders again, which I have been loosely considering but not really prioritizing. Wanting to play Outriders again, so I'm excited for an expansion. Is it an expansion? Yeah. Is that what it's considered?
That's what I would consider.
So I'm glad that there's content coming out for Monster Hunter Rise, though I have neglected Monster Hunter Rise and not played it. I'm not sure that I'll play it with this coming out, but and I think I saw a trailer for The Quarry and I thought it looked interesting. But I don't really know that much about it. So we'll see. I'll have to look into that some more. Yeah.
All right, well,
That's what I got.
that's a reasonable list. So Spellforce 3 Reforced coming out reminds me that I bought that game on Steam a long time ago and I never played it. And I always thought it looked cool and I just haven't played it. So with the release of that, it reminds me I should probably play the one I got already. And if I'm feeling like I want to get Reforced, I can. I got the option, so that's cool. Mario Strikers Battle League looks interesting. Those kind of games are always a lot of fun, but again, it's not really like a high priority for me, but it looks cool. The Quarry I'm definitely going to be picking up. I really like the games these guys make. This is a spiritual successor to Until Dawn, and so I'm definitely interested in that. It's looking good. It's looking creepy. It's probably going to be dorky in a lot of ways, but that's the fun of it. It's like watching a shitty horror movie. Let's see. Stoked to see Wreckfest is on Switch. I'm surprised they can even get it to run on there, so that's cool for anybody who hasn't got a chance to play that, but only has the ability to play on Switch. Hopefully you guys get a chance to check that out. Shadowrun Trilogy would probably be interesting. I remember playing the first of the 3, so I definitely am going to look into that. I also want to look into Sonic Origins, although it kind of just looks like Sonic Mania to me, so I don't know if I'm missing something here, but looks cool. And yeah, slightly interested in Cuphead and the Delicious Last Course, but I haven't played that since it released, so I would be catching up with that. Outriders World Slayer, 100% going to play that. I've actually been wanting to play that since I found out about World Slayer, but then I decided it would be a waste of my time to start playing it now when I've already completed all the content. I'd be doing endgame that might become obsolete once World Slayer comes out, so I'm just going to wait for World Slayer to come out to hop back in to the game. I've been playing, and a little bit of a spoiler for when I talk about it, we've been playing Division 2 lately, and that's been definitely filling that that void of wanting to play a cover shooter. So yeah, definitely looking forward to that, though. Definitely will be picking that up day one. And then Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak is a bleak reminder that I wanted to have played through Rise before this comes out, and I guess I still have time to do that. But I wanted to play through it before this comes out so I can play it day one. I'll still try and do it. But no promises. Because, yeah, I've also neglected Rise. I played a little bit, but I have not played it as much as I would have liked to. I think because it's just on Switch. I love my Switch, but I don't play it often. I'm normally on my PC. So,
Same.
Yeah. So not a whole lot of heavy hitters for me this month, but there's a couple, and they're all at the very end. Those are my must-plays. Also, The Quarry, I'm guaranteed to pick up. So, not as hyped on it as the two games at the end of the list, but it is a guaranteed game I'm going to play for sure. So, yeah. Any thoughts on anything else, or you ready to move on?
I think that's it. I feel like I agree. There's a couple games I'm really excited for. I feel like Spellforce 3 Reforced and Shadowrun Trilogy are like the types of games that I'm going to pick up on Steam and never get to play.
Possibly. Very possible.
Because they're things that I'm interested in, but they're like re-releases and stuff, and I feel like I'm always like, yeah, that's gonna be dope, and then I just don't. There's too many things I want to play, like too many games I buy and don't play. I feel like
that's the curse.
It's the struggle.
All right. Well, let us know in the comments. What games are you guys excited for in June? What games are you guaranteed to pick up? What games are you thinking about picking up? Is there any games you've already picked up? And is there any games that you would recommend us look into further and possibly pick up and play as well? Let us know everything you're thinking about in the comments below. All right, let's jump into what we've been playing, where we discuss games we've been playing in like the last week or so. This is your first. What we've been playing, so it'll be exciting to see what games you've been playing and how you.
When should I start?
You can go after me. I'm going to go first.
I mean, like when should I start for games I've played? Forever.
In like the last week or so, but if there's something you want to talk about, you can. All right, so I'm going to start to kind of set the pace. If there's any games I've been playing that you've also been playing, feel free to join in, so we don't have to double up the discussion on that. Yeah, so we're in a new month, so in case you guys don't know, I don't even have the new PlayStation Plus games on my list, which is kind of weird. So I will get those on there. But our game of the month this month is The Ascent, and I've already started playing that. So can't talk about that. But come back at the end of the month for game of the month, and we will be discussing that. Also, I think next month Chevy gets to pick game of the month, so that's going to be exciting to find out what he picks. Maybe it'll be Final Fantasy 14. Yeah, so can't talk about that. I will talk about it, though. I've been in a weird thing lately where I've been playing a lot of games that came out a while back that are kind of MMO-like. So I've revisited Destiny 2, which has been interesting. The Witch Queen has come out, and so I figured it'd be a good time to maybe revisit and kind of see what's going on in Destiny. And it's pretty much a lot of the same stuff going on in Destiny. Still a really good shooter, plays great. The PvP's okay. The classes are cool. I have been catching up on the new class that they added. I forgot what it's called, but it does like stasis stuff. I'm sure anybody who plays Destiny 2 will know more than I do about that. But I've been trying to play through, oh God, what was that? Beyond Light? I think that's what it's called. I've been playing through that to try and get my class unlocked, and then I want to go through Witch Queen. But yeah, been doing a lot of reorientation with the game, but even though it's not a game that I think about when I'm not playing it, when I do play it, I enjoy myself, and it's easy to just keep playing. It's set up really good in that regard. You've also played Destiny 2 a little bit, and
Yep.
not your first time. That's the Division. We'll talk about that. But you played Destiny 2 a little bit a long time ago.
Yep.
So how are you feeling about it coming back to it?
I feel the same as when I first played it, which is that like I feel like I want to like it more than I actually do like it when I'm playing it. Yeah, I don't know. It's just it's not like my favorite style of shooter, and I don't know. It just doesn't feel good to play it for me. Like it's not that gosh, what's the word I'm thinking of? Like it's not that satisfying when I'm playing it. Like I just feel myself kind of like getting bored and like not really paying attention to what's going on. So I'm not that into like the different classes and like how they play. So I haven't really, I guess, found anything about the game that's like keeping me interested. And maybe I just have not played it enough, because I'll be honest, I really haven't played it that much.
Well, I've heard the same complaint from about content not keeping people interested from people who've been playing it since day one. So you pretty much agree with them as well. So
cool.
Just, yeah, different amounts of how much you've played the game.
Yeah.
But they managed to pull people back constantly looking
So I nailed it.
Yeah. They pull people back, seeing if they finally did something that's reignited people's interest in it. For me coming back, I'm enjoying it a little bit, but at the same time I'm like, feels like Destiny 2.
Yeah, I have one friend who plays Destiny 2, and I feel like every time he talks about it, he talks about the first Destiny more than he talks about Destiny 2. Like he's just like wishing that it was that. Yeah.
Yeah. So you're playing the sorcerer?
I think isn't it warlock? I think
warlock,
it's called a warlock, yeah.
Whatever they're called. Yeah.
Yeah. I think sorcerer.
Yeah, the person who floats and does explosive shit. Yeah. So so you hate the floating. Not a big fan.
I think you can change how that works, though, can't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they all have like 3 variables of their ability. I think one makes you go upwards faster for getting up elevation, and another one makes you float for longer in a more horizontal way. And so, yeah. I always hate watching it, though, when someone floats by.
It doesn't feel good. It feels like be faster just to not do it.
Yeah. Yeah, I play Hunter. I've been playing that since, I guess, Destiny. Has the triple jump, which feels good, and a lot of high damage. I guess they all have high damage abilities. They're not all that different except for the visual style. But yeah, I originally had a I was playing as an Arc Strider, I think, which is the 3rd subclass. But then coming back, I found out that they had changed the original 2 classes to a 3.0 build, which is completely different. And so I have made a solar build going back to that. And that's been a lot of fun, pretty satisfying, but definitely more satisfying than the Warlock. But yeah, nothing in the game's really holding me there, except for the very on-brand Bungie tight FPS experience. It does still feel like a spiritual successor almost to Halo. So, yeah, can't complain gameplay wise. Just the gameplay loop, the loot, the whole experience is not addicting. Which in a game that you're going to be playing for fucking hundreds of hours probably, it needs a stronger pull. So, which I'll throw it out to anybody watching. Is there something that potentially, because I stopped playing before Beyond Light came out. I'm playing through right now. So is there anything that's come out from Beyond Light or Witch Queen that I should really be looking forward to? Or are you like, dude, you got to keep playing. You're going to fucking run into this thing. You're going to love it. I am hearing that Witch Queen's story is the best that Destiny 2 has ever done, which is good to hear because I think Destiny and Destiny 2's lore is good, but I think their storytelling has been very weak. I think the same thing about Halo when Bungie was making that as well. The lore's awesome, storytelling wasn't good, so this seems to be a Bungie thing. But yeah, definitely curious about that.
I think that the new, like, the revamped classes that they did, it seems really interesting, like far more engaging than what the previous iterations are. And maybe that's something I feel like if I gave the game more time and I got to play with that a little bit, that maybe it would keep me engaged. But I just feel like I'm not sure that there's enough to even get me there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, since I last played, they've introduced being able to upgrade and modify your armor, which is interesting because you actually start working towards builds now. Before, you had like some skills you unlock and that's it. Also, they've added all these modifiers to your classes now as well. The first thing I did when I logged in is I ran up to, I forgot her name, but she's the one who sells all these different things you can use in your classes now. And I had a bunch of glimmer from the last time I played, so I just bought everything. I was like, I want all of it. So I got all of it, and now, if I got to make a build, I have all that stuff unlocked. So that's nice. But yeah, they've changed up a lot of stuff to make you be able to actually make builds better than before. Before it was like a loose, like, wow, I'm going to use this instead of that. I'm going to use this instead of that. But, it's basically all the same shit. But now it seems like you can finally start dialing in something a little more interesting. So at least they're taking steps in the direction of trying to make the experience a little more deep and less just a shooter with a loot, which it still kind of feels like. Also, the classes need to be tooled in a way that makes them feel, I guess, more team oriented and less like, Call of Duty classes where everybody just kills, but they kill differently, which this game definitely feels like. So, yeah. Anything else you want to say on Destiny 2?
I think it suffers a little bit from, it's got that issue that a lot of like MMOs get, where they release so much content that it just kind of feels overwhelming and hard to get attached to. And that's one thing that I feel when we're playing, like I don't really know what's going on super well.
Well, Destiny 2 also suffers from what a lot of people compare to WoW, in the sense that every time a new big chunk of content comes out, it makes old content almost irrelevant. And so you're constantly kind of like cycling through, like starting again. There's not a whole lot of longevity in the terms of like progressing further and further in. It's like, okay, you're kind of starting from base zero again. People just starting now, I think, started like light level. I think it was like 1,350 or some shit. I don't remember. I think so. But yeah, it's like you just start there. So, and I get it. They're trying to keep people who are new, up to date with people who've been playing. But the people who've been playing are like barely ahead of you, and it seems like, I don't know, fruitless.
Yeah,
worthless.
And that's one of the things that adds to, like, I think logically they're doing it to make the experience better for new players, but it's one of the things I've always felt, and in WoW too, MMOs that have been out for a long time, those catch-up mechanics sometimes are kind of what causes you to feel confused. Like you're not sure where you are or why, and they don't really explain it to you. They're just like, here, this is where everybody's at.
Yeah, it's kind of a double-edged sword in the sense that like it's convenient to not have to go through all the OG content, but it's disorienting.
Yeah.
Because you're starting in a place where people who've been playing originally earned their way to that point. Now you're just starting there.
And there's all these features that like you don't know what they
Exactly.
do
You didn't go through
or what how they're relevant or why are they here and mean absolutely nothing.
But then on the other side, it's like, it would also be kind of convenient to start at the beginning and go through the same thing everybody else went through, to kind of learn the game better, but also maybe appreciate the journey through it. So
Sure.
it's a pick or choose, but a lot of people do pick the convenience factor because that is more inviting for a new player to play with the game. People in a game that's existed for a while. So
I think if you don't make your own content obsolete, it would be better.
Yeah.
It would be less confusing. So there's that.
Yeah. Anything else on Destiny 2?
Nope.
Okay, so the next game I've been playing in a similar vein, and depending on what I say about this, could either get people to agree with me or be upset. Maybe you're more of a Destiny fan, but I've been playing the Division 2 again as well. So apparently I got an itch for these faux MMOs lately, which is really interesting. I said on the last Tasty Cast, they had a really hard to pass up sale on the Division 2. You could buy the Ultimate Edition for like $17, so I jumped on that. You hadn't played the Division at that time, and so I thought it was a great time for us to maybe explore that. For anybody who doesn't know, I played the Division 2 when it came out originally. I played the fuck out of it. Played a little bit of Warlords of New York, but I fell off then, but I did put a lot of time into it on console. I was playing on PS4. And so we bought it on PC, which has been a overall better experience. The game is a lot better with a mouse, and it plays great on PC. Ubisoft has kind of fucked up before on their PC games, kind of feeling floaty to me. But this is like super tight, plays really good. The controls are really good. And I think has a better gameplay loop than Destiny 2. And I'm not going to sit here and compare the two just because I just mentioned Destiny 2. I want you to know where I'm coming from. I think the Division 2, though not a perfect game, not a great game, is still a pretty fun game. If you're just looking for one of those games you can just grind out on, play kind of mindlessly, talk with friends, hang out, maybe have a drink, like just kind of a chill game. That still has a challenge, still has long-term goals to work towards. And yeah, we just hit, and I don't want to talk for you too much because you got to talk on this game as well. Just hit 30, so we are ready to either grind out in DC more or move over to Warlords of New York, which I'm looking forward to because I only got to 31 on PS4. So this will be my first time actually going through that whole DLC. And yeah, we've been playing with Josh, so we're all 30 and we're ready to continue through. We unlocked the subclasses, whatever they're called, specializations, I think they're called.
Yeah, I think so.
And I am continuing where I left off on PC, or not PC, PS4, and I am playing Firewall, which is a dude who uses the shield and can use a flamethrower at the same time. And yeah, I've been leveling him a little bit, and I'm really enjoying that because I like using the shield, I like running in and just blocking bullets, and being able to use a flamethrower with it is a lot of fun. And I heard that there's skills you unlock in Warlords of New York that I'm really excited to unlock because, yeah, there's a lot of shit that I haven't experienced yet. And then I guess when you hit level 40, there's like a bunch of stuff that unlocks as well that you can continue to do, like something called Conflict, which I think is like a 8-player PvE mode or something like that. Let me know in the comments if you're much more up to date on info for that game. But yeah, looking forward to doing all that content. Really enjoying the game, having a lot of fun, and it has been a pretty good indicator for me that I guess I'm more of a Division 2 fan than a Destiny 2 fan. So yeah, been having fun with that. You've also played Division 2, and this was your first time playing through it. You're now 30. Congratulations.
Yep.
Look at you.
Thanks.
What do you think of it?
I did it. I really like the Division 2 quite a bit. I like that it's like a more tactical shooter. I like that
more class-based.
The classes, that's one thing that I really, something I typically like am attracted to in games.
Team dynamics.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
I like to play support classes and stuff like that. So when I have an option to do something like that, especially when there's variety and flavor and like customization in how I do that, it feels good and it feels rewarding. So I like that. I use the little repair drone. It feels super impactful. And I like that it seems like it lasts forever and I can just like send it to whoever needs it. So that feels really good. And then the little hive bomb that revives people is super useful, even just when it revives me, because it auto drops when I die.
Yeah, I've seen that happen a couple times, and like, not that people are going down all the time, but when we do go down, it's very nice to have that option.
Yeah. It makes a huge difference. I feel like one thing about going down in a game like that is, then it feels like the other two team members have to stop everything that they're doing and like focus solely on that. One person covers while the other person's reviving, and it's just this whole thing. And sometimes that kind of leads to things falling apart. And so it's super nice to be able to just throw something to wherever Josh died and it revives him, or it auto drops when I die, and you guys don't have to stop what you're doing. Nobody has to stop what they're doing to get anybody up, and it feels like it makes the death less impactful, which is kind of lets us keep just doing what we're doing the part of the game that's fun. So,
well, in a game, especially on hard difficulties like this, where somebody goes down, it can exacerbate the whole situation, because then somebody else might want to go get them up. They might go down, and then it becomes this big issue. So just being able to throw that over there, make sure that situation doesn't happen. So that's convenient.
Yeah, so I hit 30 or whatever, unlocked the specialization. I haven't really done anything with that, but I picked the technician, and I'm excited. There's one ability in there that kind of took me to that specialization. The Faraday field has a bunch of like different buffs to my support things, and since I use the drone, so like I primarily use the drone, it seemed like a cool thing that there's just like besides the armor thing that it does, it also has like a buff it's going to give out. There's like a few different things it does, and I haven't played with it, like I said, so I don't want to speak too much in detail because I'm not really sure, but that was the thing in there that I saw that kind of made me want to choose that. So I'm excited to play with that. I really like the Division 2, actually, much more than I expected to. I think because I liked it so much, it's one of the reasons why I tried out Destiny 2, but and maybe that was to Destiny 2's detriment, because I enjoy the Division 2 so much more.
It's kind of a good time to like kind of go back and sample them and see which one you like more, because they are similar in a lot of senses, but they're also different in a lot of ways as well.
Division 2 doesn't have crossplay, which is a big con.
That is one thing Destiny 2 has that's really cool. It also has cross progression, which is great too. Like I was able to, even though you have to buy your expansion separately per platform, it is cool that on my PS4 I could just play my character. But with Division 2, they're like separate. So
one thing I really appreciate about the Division 2 is that the world feels more lived in than Destiny does. It feels like there's like objectives and stuff to do in Destiny 2, like those public quests or whatever they are. But they don't feel as dynamic as the events that are happening in the Division. So the world just feels more natural. Like it feels like, even though you're really not playing with other players unless you're grouped up, like it feels like more like an MMO than
you like
Destiny
run into
2
like
does.
different factions fighting each other, or like the NPCs that are supposed to be on your side running into other people, and you'll see people walking down the street escorting like cargo and stuff like that, whether it's on your team or one of the factions. And there's a lot of ambient stuff going on. There's dogs
Right.
and wildlife, deer and raccoon and stuff.
Whereas the events in Destiny 2 feel more scripted.
It feels like an initiated mini game.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. It feels very structured. You get the systems down. You're like, okay, let's go do this. Let's go do that. Let's go do this. And it's not a bad thing, but as a more immersive experience, I guess Division 2 definitely sells itself and its world in a more convincing way.
Yep.
Yeah. Anything else? Y'all done on Division 2?
I don't know. The big thing is that I want to keep playing it. So I think that speaks to it more
That's
than anything else I could say.
A good sign.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, Division 2 came out years ago, but we're playing it now, having fun, and I'm glad you gave it a chance and you're liking it, because anytime I thought about that game, I remember asking you originally, I'm like, you ever played Division 2? You're like, no, not really. I was like, weird. I feel like you'd like that game, and here you are liking it. So glad we're playing it.
Well, I think I didn't play it because I didn't have anyone to
Yeah.
play it with. And so thanks.
Now you do.
Thanks, Josh, for playing with me.
Yeah, thanks, Josh. You're the real fucking hero. All right, so the last game I've been playing that I want to talk about a little bit, because I just kind of want to get my opinion out on this, is Diablo Immortal. I downloaded this the first day it came out. I remember telling people, and they're like, "You're gonna play that?" I'm like, I have to. I have to play it. I gotta be able to talk about this shit. I have a goddamn gaming YouTube channel. I gotta be able to talk about things. And it's free to play, so nothing to lose there. So I'm not gonna dive too deep in on the microtransaction stuff, because everybody knows it's shitty. It's very forward on what they're doing with it. The game is definitely designed for you to pay as much as you want to get as much that you want out of the game. It is very just a buffet of things you can buy, and it has like different tiers to its battle pass, all sorts of shit. This game is definitely ready to take your money. So I'm sure you guys know all about it. There's a lot of people talking about it, and I'm glad they're talking about the monetization, because more people talking about it means that Blizzard's gonna hear. And a lot of people are unhappy with it, and hopefully they can change it in a way that can make people feel a little less like they're trying to be predatory against them. Obviously, any game needs to make its money, but this game seems pretty shameless about it. And the worst part about it, the most egregious crime of it, is that this is a beloved franchise. So it feels insulting. And Blizzard already has a bad track record when it comes to how people view them now. So all that aside, I've been playing it. I've been playing it on my Z Fold 3, and I've been playing it on my PC. So I've played it on both. In fact, the first day it came out, you couldn't play it on PC. It had like a 1-day delay, which is kind of odd. And yeah, overall, it looks good. It runs smooth. The first day was a little glitchy, but that's been smoothed out. It does feel almost identical to Diablo 3, except for it has a lot of streamlined things that Diablo 3 didn't have, which is interesting. But the whole game is streamlined. It's streamlined in a way that free-to-play mobile MMOs are, in the sense that it will auto-run you to things. So the whole game is meant for anybody to be able to pick it up, invest enough time in it to decide to want to spend money on it. So it's really, this game's not for like hardcore Diablo fans. It's meant to welcome them, but also welcome anybody else who's willing to give it its time. But yeah, it's a really clean-looking game on phone and on PC. I'm impressed with that. It looks a little better than Diablo 3. So it's definitely the same engine, but upgraded. Gameplay wise, it does feel like Diablo 3, but it also feels, I guess, kind of simplified as well, because it's limiting you to just like 4 moves. And so far I haven't found I haven't found a way to like modify the moves like I'm used to in Diablo 3. So if that's a feature, I haven't ran into it yet. I am level 36, I think, so I'm not max level, but I'm also playing this game very casually. I'll throw in like 15 minutes here.
$15 there.
I've not spent a dime on this game yet. and I plan on playing it as much as I can and seeing how far that gets me without spending any money. I do not feel any impulse to want to spend money on either. There's a battle pass, and there's this little tick in the back of my brain going like, well, you're level 9 on the battle pass, and there's all the content you're unlocking. But I'm like, I don't even give a fuck to have that content in this game. Like, it's just like, you know, this game makes me want to go play Diablo 3 or wait for Diablo 4 and hope that they don't fuck that up. So, yeah. But anyway, as a game that has cross progression and cross play between PC and mobile and tablets, which is, you know, mobile, I think that's really neat. It's a pretty cool option to be able to play either or. It is interesting to play it on PC because it is retroactively converted for PC for mobile. So when you play it, the resolution's kind of weird. The UI is still the mobile UI, but then they just put like 1 through 4 on your keys to be the 4 moves you have on the bottom right corner of your screen. So hopefully they can change the UI a little bit for the PC to make it feel a little less mobile-esque, but it's there, so I can't complain. It's cool. It has a fully acted out and voiced story, which is cool to see. Though, you know, it has like a point where it's like, oh, you need to hit 35 to continue this story. So you got to go do a bunch of bullshit fucking bounties, which is essentially just go to this region and kill 60 of this. Go over to the right and kill 40 of this. Go grab 5 of this. And it's just like really boring, lame stuff to keep you busy. It's just filler shit to keep you in the game, and then you know, get some experience and loot from it. So I'm not impressed with the bounties in the game, and the game wants you to do them. I think they want you to do 16 a day. So that's not that fun, and that's definitely not something that I want from Diablo. So not impressed with that. Combat's fun though. It's a little simple, but it's fun. It's actually kind of genius though. They got a couple systems in it that so I'm playing Necromancer, and a lot of the moves you press the button, and since you're touching a touch screen on mouse and keyboard, you use the mouse, but you can actually aim your moves. So it's kind of this genius way to avoid having to use like a second stick or something, and be able to still with ease aim your abilities. So it is a really good design in that sense. I'll give them that. The combat was thought out pretty well. And yeah, going to the story, yeah, I'm not too interested in it, but it is Diablo-esque. The monster design is really good. There's some bosses I was actually pretty impressed with the way they looked. And it's got these dungeons that you can go in. I forgot what they're called, but you can just matchmake with random people very easily. It's very quick, and you just go into these dungeons and go through them, fight bosses, get loot. And yeah, the loot in the game is not that exciting to me though, because the game is almost designed in with your gear score in mind, and that's like pretty much any game like this. But anytime I get new loot, I never really pay attention to what the stats are, because the game has a green arrow. It's just like, replace that. And anything you have on your last fucking equipment, you can just transfer it over to your new thing. And so, and as much as I appreciate that, because I don't have to like take all the gems off and put it on the new thing, it feels less like I'm involved in the game. And so the game just feels like I'm going through levels and I'm progressing through. And it's like, are you ready to spend money yet? Are you ready? Okay, you're level 36 now. Are you know, only like $5. That's not that much, is it? You got your phone connected to, you know, all your Apple Pay and all that shit, and your PayPal. It's real easy. Like, that's what the game feels like when you play it. So, yeah, gameplay wise, I think there's a lot of cool stuff, although it does not feel like a full-fledged premium game in the sense of like the content that it has for you. But the story's more impressive than I thought it'd be. But yeah, there's just this overall very glaring free-to-play feel to the game. Not in its quality, but in its design. The way it's so shamelessly setting you up to put barriers in front of you eventually, that you're going to want to speed up the process of getting gems and leveling up your stuff. And none of it feels exciting. I not once have played this game and went like, fuck yeah, that was dope as shit. I'm more so just going like, this is a really premium mobile game. I'm impressed with how well they made this. That's about as far as my excitement goes, which is really fucking crazy. and I'm not a big mobile guy, so I'm not going to get excited for that. But on PC, same thing. I'm like, this feels like Diablo 3.5, but also takes steps back because it's so less involved and so not fast paced. This is not a fast paced game. It's very slow because it's got to work for people, just touching a screen on whatever phone they're using. There's a lot of phones out there, different sizes. But the reason I bring up the Z Fold 3 thing, I've brought it up already, because having the foldable screen, the resolution sometimes with games doesn't work correctly. And this is completely formatted for it and runs great on there. So I really appreciate that they really thought about everything. And I know this works on tablet, so it's probably just doing the same thing as a tablet, but there are games out there that do not do that. So as somebody who's experienced that, certain games just not wanting to work on that screen, and other ones will kind of make the resolution smaller to fit on there, right? It's appreciated. I'm glad they thought about that. So. But yeah, overall, I don't see myself playing this game in any kind of hardcore, I gotta play it sense, but it is a fun game to play if you got a couple minutes to burn, you're out on the go, or you're at work or whatever. I think it's kind of fun and interesting to play a Diablo game in that sense, but there are too many games that I want to play that this game will not distract me from. And like I said, I am playing until I find a paywall, and when the paywall happens, I'm fucking out. I'm not invested in the game, so I'm playing it for curiosity mostly. So anyway, those are my thoughts on Diablo Immortal. It's okay. Sarah, I think you played it a little bit, didn't you?
Yeah, I hit level 8.
Nice.
No, I keep trying to play it, and it's just so mindless.
Yeah. It's
almost too easy to play. I don't even want to play it. I don't like... And I mean, I have felt that way about similar games. So, it's not a huge surprise to me that I'm having trouble sticking with this game. My auto running to objectives is upsetting to me. Makes me angry that that's an option. So stuff like that just really turns me.
But the game definitely autos hey, you want to just run there on your own? You're like, I guess. Better than I do where to go.
I mean, I'm not a psychopath. I'm not going to make the experience harder than I have to. But, also, why is this even... What's the point? What am I doing? What am I doing with my life? That's what I think when I play Diablo Immortal. I was disappointed that there's no witch doctor.
Yeah. But with its online nature, I'm sure they'll add that later.
Maybe. I made a crusader because that was one of the classes I was interested in playing in Diablo 3, but I never played through the game on it. I played through on my witch doctor, played through on what is the shooty class? Demon hunter?
Demon hunter, yep.
And I played through on a necromancer. And Crusader was always one that I was interested in playing, but I also think I don't really like it that much, at least in Diablo Immortal. So, maybe that's hindering my enjoyment of the game as well. I was actually kind of surprised, at least as far as I've gotten into the game, that it took so long for them to show me the shop. I think it was when I hit level 8 that they were like, oh, hey, there's a store here. You want some daily login rewards? You have to go into the store to get them, but you can have them. You want anything else while you're here?
They definitely want you to go in there every day and just be tempted. Yeah.
So, and this game feels like once I was in the store, looking around, I mean, everyone's talking about it. It is what it is. It feels predatory, and it's monetization or whatever. And that kind of always turns me off of games as well. I don't mind monetization in general, but when it feels so blatantly just trying to play tricks on me, and that I know that it's doing it, kind of turns me off of games. So
when somebody's willing to use the name of something that people love so much as a way to slowly siphon money from you regularly, it does feel disingenuous.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I wanted to give it a chance, and I was kind of trying to give it a chance too before we filmed today so that I could talk about it. But it was a chore even to get as far as I got. And I don't think that I'll play it again. I'll probably uninstall it.
Save some room on your phone.
Yeah.
Perfect.
A lot of room.
Yeah.
My phone is tiny too. It's not.
Yeah, and I was thinking about certain screen sizes. I'm like, this game would not be that great. Although I love that people could. Maybe somebody doesn't have a PC.
Yeah.
Like, that's great. But yeah, that's one of the worst things about mobile games on phone is if you got a smaller screen, you don't have a whole lot of real estate. So your thumbs are like covering like fucking
Yeah.
I
have
a third of the screen.
An iPhone 13 mini. So it's not I think I could play it without much trouble if I wanted to, but since I already don't want to play it, it just kind of adds to the inconvenience factor of my small screen.
Yeah. Anything else?
No.
All right. Well, those are our thoughts on Diablo Immortal. Let us know in the comments. What do you guys think of Diablo Immortal? Have you played it? Have you not played it? If you haven't played it, why haven't you played it? If you have played it, what are your honest opinions on it? Are you liking it? I've actually heard plenty of people saying they're digging it. Do you not like it? Are you somewhere in between like I am? And yeah, let me know all you're thinking about when it comes to Diablo Immortal. All right. So what, outside of what we've already talked about, what games have you been playing?
I played V Rising, the new hot early access game or whatever.
Yeah. It's very popular right now.
So I played it for like 2 days straight, just kind of cracked out on it. I actually really like it. I'm interested to see kind of how the game progresses as it continues development. But I do think it feels like if I had bought this game and they told me it was like a 1.0 release, I would have been happy with my purchase. So I appreciate that about it. I think there's a lot of polish already there. I'm just kind of interested to see. I mean, it is early access, so obviously they have more things planned before full release. So I'm interested to see what they do there. But it's got a really cool like top-down survival game with some like interesting elements. You play as a vampire, and so you there's like a day and night cycle. If you're out in the day, you take damage like pretty significantly. You have kind of a little grace period, like you can walk through like patches of sun to get into like the shade of a tree. And you get a little grace period, and there's items with stats on them that increase your sun resistance. But yeah, you'll start to take damage like really quickly. So it's definitely something you have to think about. And there were several times where I found myself out questing and doing like exploring or gathering materials. And suddenly it was daytime and I had to spend the entire day hiding in a bush because it seemed too dangerous to make it back to my home base. So that was really interesting. It kind of adds another element of like having to plan. There's a couple times where I wanted to go do something and I realized what time it was. And I was like, well, I guess I'll wait until tomorrow to do that because it doesn't seem worth it. So it adds an interesting element of gameplay, but it also kind of makes you have to think about how you're completing your quests, what you're going out and doing, like what you're prioritizing based on how much time you have, or where those things are, or how far away those things are. When you start to get further along the quest, you have to travel further, and sometimes the traveling takes the entirety of the day. There are there's some fast travel, but you can't take items with you, which is also interesting. So it kind of limits what you can do a little bit. There's also like a travel form, I guess, you can use, kind of like a variation of a mount. So that's interesting. I think the crafting is actually pretty interesting. It's not the most in-depth, like mechanically, but there's a lot of variety and options and things you can do and things you can make. And that was cool. And there's like this main quest kind of the way that Valheim has a little bit, where you're going through and killing bosses sort of like in this specific order. However, it feels more like in the forefront of the game than in Valheim, where it feels like you could play the whole game just like crafting and never like going off and doing that.
Yeah, you just wouldn't unlock the next stage of things to be able to craft if you don't kill the bosses.
That's fair, but there's like already so much you can craft, where in this game it I think wants you to focus more on it. And so they take steps to do that. Like you're quite limited right from the beginning, and the quests are kind of a little bit more easily attainable. And so you're kind of meant to progress through that quest line so that you can unlock more crafting and stuff like that. So I kind of like that they took some inspiration from Valheim in that way, but kind of have their own spin on it. Also feels a little bit like Conan Exiles to me in the way that traveling the world feels. So yeah, I mean, overall, I really enjoyed this game. There's like a energy system as well. It's like a blood system. I can't remember exactly what they call it, but you have to like feed on stuff, but it's really easily managed, I feel like. So
you like that?
I like the way they've done it. Yeah.
Okay.
I think like if it felt a little bit different, it could be not great, but I think that they've kind of dialed it in, and it feels like you're using it, but also like you don't have to work that hard to keep it. So yeah, I appreciate how they executed on it. So there's a couple things I hope that they address or change or think about. Hopefully they're thinking about it, or maybe they're just wanting me to suffer. But like, you can't fast forward through the daytime, even if you're playing by yourself. I mean, it makes sense in like if you're playing in a persistent world with like your friends, and like there's PvP in this game. So
I mean, they could do the same thing every survival game ever's done, and if everybody's laying down, you can skip.
Yeah. But when I was playing in a solo game just to like, try things out, and I could not skip through the day, and that was excruciatingly horrible. I like watched podcasts while I was playing all day because I knew there was going to be like 15 minutes at a time where I just had to sit and wait. But there's cool stuff you can do. Like, there's this thing you can build that shrouds your base, it shrouds the area around the thing that you build with like darkness. So like I put one kind of in the middle of my like crafting area in my base. So even during the day I could at least like in my home base, like do things. And that sort of eliminated the need for me to have to sleep through the day. It kind of just, you still have to like make sure you go home during the day, basically. At least where I'm at in the game. Like I said, there's like sun resistant items and stuff like that, and I just didn't get that far into the game, so.
Yeah.
I think I hit level 36.
What's the cap?
I'm not sure what the cap is, but there was many more quests that I had not unlocked, so. And I think I killed like at least 10 bosses, which also, there's skill trees and stuff like that, and killing the bosses unlocks abilities and things, and I barely scratched the surface of the skill trees, so it feels like there's a lot, and maybe that's one of the things like they haven't put into the game yet. Maybe that's what the early access is. Like at some point you're going to reach kind of like a wall where they haven't released more content. I'm not sure, but it seems like there's a lot there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would like to play it with people, but I don't know anybody else yet who's picked it up. So.
Yeah, I plan on checking it out at some point. I haven't picked it up yet, but with the amount of people talking about it, I feel like I need to play it just to see what all the hubbub is about.
I wouldn't say it's like the world's best survival game, but it's definitely a cool survival game, which I know are types of games that we both enjoy. So I'd be interested to get your take on it, especially kind of where it's at right now.
Yeah. I got to check it out. What else have you been playing?
Oh, yeah. What else have I been playing? I played some more Oxygen Not Included after we did the thing, the episode. Just because I feel like I didn't play it as much as I wanted to during the month, even though I've played that game so much. And every time I start to play it, I get a little bit hooked on it. I just like that game a lot. So just some of that, which I don't need to talk about too much. We talked about it a bunch.
Talked about it quite a bit.
Yeah.
On Game of the Month. So make sure go check out that episode.
Yeah. There was a Clay developer publisher sale on Steam, and so I bought all their games. So
very cool. Did you play Griftlands?
I haven't played Griftlands yet.
Play it.
I know it's on my list. But I played a demo for this new game that they're releasing called Lab Rat, which is like a little puzzle game, which I was actually quite interested in. So I'm looking forward to when that game comes out. I'm not sure when it's coming out. But
is that the 3D one you're playing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was actually, like I said, really interesting even early on, moments where I had to kind of think about what it was asking me to do. So I appreciate when a game like that especially is not just like super obvious all the time, especially in the beginning, like of a demo or like a tutorial. So, and it's visually looks good, just like all Clay games. So I'm excited to try that game out.
Though being 3D, it looks very different than what I'm used to with them. But yeah, it's definitely a clean looking game.
Yeah, it doesn't have like the art style that like Oxygen Not Included has, or like Don't Starve, but it has a unique aesthetic, which I think is what I think that they always do well. Yeah, that's it though. I've honestly mostly been playing The Division 2.
Yep. Been playing a lot of that lately. All right, nothing else?
Nothing else.
All right, let us know in the comments, what games have you guys been playing? What games would you recommend us play? What games would you not want us to play? Maybe you hate Diablo Immortal so much you're like, hey, stop playing that shit right now, play something else. Let me know everything you're thinking about in the comments below when it comes to what you've been playing.
I want to know what people think about V Rising.
Yeah, if you've played it, let us know in the comments below. I know a lot of people have been playing it.
Yeah.
All right, so Elder Scrolls Online High Isle is a thing, and a launch cinematic trailer has come out. So we are going to watch that. We're going to hopefully fix this, whatever's happening, and we'll react to this. And then I also have on their page information about this. I have watched a video about this before, but we're going to catch anybody who's curious about it up on what's coming with or what is out with High Isle. So yeah, just for some reference here, me and Sarah both played ESO and played quite a bit, and I think both plan on coming back to it. I've already pre-purchased High Isle, so I just need to hop on. Yeah, I bought this like months ago.
Dang, dude.
I wanted to make sure I got all like the pre-order fucking mount shit. So yeah, I got to go check that out.
I'm keeping that a secret.
So I am sold. We'll see if Sarah is. I'm sure she'll be just as into it. And yeah, so let's watch this trailer. Do you have any anticipation for it though? Are you open to coming back to ESO?
Yeah, I really love ESO. It's a game that I played. The first time I played it, I really disliked it. But then we've come back to it a few times, and I really enjoy it.
It was in a rough place when it first came out, but it's much better than it was. I love when a game can pull something like that off. I'm just like so impressed with where the game's at now versus where it started. And so I always appreciate that. And I think it's a really solid game. I would like to play it more. You are much further in the game than I have had a chance to get to. So yeah, when I was playing it the last time, I was like cracking out on it bad.
Yeah. And I had a couple hiccups with like picking classes, and I started over a few times, and I always overthink like what race I'm playing in an MMO. So that happened to me a few times.
Yeah, I remember you were kind of going like, well, I'm going to try this class. Well, no, I kind of want to do this one. Well, I want to do this build.
I always do like convince myself that I need to do something really like obscure and like interesting. Like play a Nightblade healer, which is just, why do I need to do that to myself? So
because it's interesting.
I know, but
the game is so open-ended that it allows you to do really whatever the fuck you want.
And I'd like to revisit that. It just felt it was
clogging you up, dude.
It's holding you back. Yeah, it was not letting me enjoy the game, and not just kind of letting me, I think mostly not letting me like learn the game. So
yeah, I have a really weird mentality when it comes to MMOs. Like, I'll play a class and I don't even know if I'm like in love with it or not, but I'm like, I get dedicated. I'm like, I gotta get this guy to fucking max level. I'm gonna beat all this shit. Let's fucking go. And I'm just like, go. I didn't think about other classes. And then like I'll play another one later. I'm like, oh, I kind of like this one better. Or I'll play another one. I'm like, oh, I'm glad I didn't play that one. But yeah, I get like really, I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna play them all anyway at some point. I'm just gonna get this guy to the end. Luckily, I forgot. Oh God, I haven't played in a while. The sorcerer class, whatever the fuck it's called.
You play, what is it, like a necromancer or something?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, Diablo
What's
Immortal.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, I got a bunch of pets and shit. But it's a lot of fun. So luckily, I'm not playing class that sucks.
I don't have that. I can't do that. Like, I feel like I know very much what kind of class I want to play, and that's, if I can't find that. I'm not opposed to like having alts or anything, but if I can't find like the class I know I want to play, then I have a hard time playing the game.
Yeah, that's why you're not into Destiny 2.
I guess so.
All right, so we should watch this trailer. We'll go through the info, and then we'll discuss the trailer and the info. This just came out June 7th. This is the Elder Scrolls Online High Isle official launch cinematic trailer in 3, 2, 1, and go. One thing I like about ESO's trailers, even since when it first came out, I think they do a really good job on those cinematics, which is interesting. So stoked to see this.
Dang. Dusty boy.
This guy thought. Choreography is good.
You're gonna fuck later.
He's got him. So for anybody listening, it's 3 heroes that you see in all the trailers for ESO. They're fighting some kind of giant knight dude who is giving them a good fight. 1v3.
It's interesting, he doesn't look like that imposing even.
Doesn't need to, dude. Like a real fighter, dude. They don't talk the talk, dude. They fucking walk the walk.
I just feel like that, like, sometimes in like a situation like this, they'll make the like 1 versus 3 dude like extra big and scary, and he just looks super normal. Dang.
Flesh wound. He's okay. You gonna fucking do him dirty like that?
Rude.
Just taking a nap.
It's a Northman, dude.
Sweepy. I'm stoked to explore this one too, because the islands that they created for this are only in the lore but never have been made, so they got to create their own original area. That guy just does not give up. These are what I got.
Look at that little guy.
Yeah, I got those.
Can I still get them?
Probably. I just got excited when I saw them. I was like, I gotta get those. And I bought it like months out. And I'm like, well, now I'm just sitting here fucking with nothing.
I don't know about the mount, dude. I got that sweet roll bear.
Sweet roll, dude.
Heck yeah, dude.
All right, so that was the trailer. I thought it was really good. The choreography was really good. Everything about it was really good. I mean, it's essentially just a fight scene, but it was done really well. Got me a little pumped to play High Isle. And yeah, what'd you think of the trailer?
I thought it was good. I thought it looked good. I thought it was interesting. I guess it didn't really tell me anything about what's going on though. So, I don't know if it did get me hyped I feel like I'm hyped to play it or whatever because I like ESO, but not sure the trailer itself got me that hyped.
Didn't get you hyped for sword combat in general?
No.
It failed. It must have failed. Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't really explain a whole lot, but I'm sure if you're like super big on the lore, you probably know what's going on here, and you're like, oh shit, dude, this is happening. But for us to play the game, but we're not super big on the lore. I mean, I've played this game a lot. I have a lot of time in this, but I honestly don't pay attention a whole lot to the story, which I think is a big mistake. So a lot of people tell me it's really good. So I should go back to the zones and play through them again. But yeah, really cool trailer. I really liked it. But I do agree it doesn't really give us a whole lot of insight story-wise. But we will get that here. This is on their website, and it's going to explain some stuff real quick, and then we'll talk about it.
Sick.
It says, Legacy of the Bretons set out on a brand new Elder Scrolls adventure and discover an epic story told across 3 DLCs and High Isle chapter. The Sisters Archipelago explore High Isle and Aminos, a land never before seen in the Elder Scrolls, traverse stunning white cliffs, majestic castles, and perilous jungles as you encounter a chivalrous Breton society. One thing they said too in a video is they wanted to kind of shrink the story down a bit and have it more centralized in an area of like more classical storytelling as opposed to these bigger stories they were kind of telling with the last couple big DLCs. So
That's interesting.
A shadow conspiracy. Uncover a secret order of knights led by the mysterious Ascendant Lord who threatens to disrupt peace talks to the ongoing 3 banners war and condemn Tamriel to endless conflict. I think this is our boy, the Ascendant Lord.
That's our boy.
Yeah, so now we got the context of just who they're fucking with. Who apparently is all about that conspiracy life. Tales of Tribute, a new way to unwind an ESO. Grab a tankard of mead and play a hand of an original fast-paced collectible card game. Tales of Tribute, compete with friends or test your mettle against NPCs in this exciting deck-building game. This is one of the features I was actually pretty excited about, even though I'm not a big card guy, because it just kind of adds to the flavor that ESO has that is do what you want the way you want. And the idea of collecting cards, playing against actual people, but also playing against NPCs allows you to explore this how you want. So it's pretty cool. All new challenges and rewards. Discover the stunning home of Breton nobility and experience all new stories, quests, monster challenges, and rewards. A new trial, Dreadsail Reef. Gather your strongest allies for a 12-person trial and strike back against the Dreadsail pirates within their dangerous island hideaway. New companions, Ember and Isabel. Recruit 2 brave new companions, Ember the Khajiit sorcerer and Isabel Velois the Breton Knight, to accompany you on your adventures in the Sisters Archipelago and beyond. This feature is really cool because I think when they added companions in the one that added the companions, I unlocked both of them. Really liked having the option of having just a random NPC that I could actually put gear on and kind of build up. Really cool system. So I'm glad they're adding more companions.
I need that Khajiit, dude.
Yeah, she's looking cool. All right, so new world events, volcanic vents help the local Stone Lord druids investigate and shut down volatile volcanic fissures that have begun to plague the islands of the Sisters. New rewards, Treasure of High Isle. Reclaim the lost treasures of the Breton people and earn unique new item sets, collectibles, and achievements found only within the High Isle chapter. All right, so I kind of went over a lot of my thoughts on this, kind of going through it. I think you did a little bit too. But is there anything that stands out, anything you're excited for, anything that's making you want to come back and play ESO?
I'm interested in the card game.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go back up to that. Look at that lady right there.
She has been having a good time.
Yeah, dude, those
Though the dude over the table looks like he might be responsible for that. So always
the black abyss where her eyes should be, dude.
Yeah, always check your drinks.
Yeah, I'm excited for the card game. It's probably would never be anything that like I got super into, but I like that they're adding it. And I think that's interesting. So I'm interested to try it out.
I'm always a fan of living qualities added to MMOs, things that aren't just go do this fetch quest, but things that you can kind of like spend time and work on individually. So it's definitely a good addition.
Yep. I like that Secret Order of Knights. That's going to be interesting. That gets me interested in the story to figure that out.
Yeah, kind of like what I said before. I'm kind of simplifying it, but they said like they wanted to have this like more basic story, but still, you know, well written, but like it's about this conspiracy to keep the wars going, stuff like that, by this different order of Bretons or whatever. So be interesting to explore that storyline.
No, I think aesthetically it's not really super my style. Like I don't find aesthetically anything that interesting about this, but I think some of the features are cool, and the story sounds interesting, and really that's the more important aspect of all of it. So yeah, I'm excited to try it out.
Same, yeah. Already said this, but the companions are sounding cool. Definitely a good addition. I hope they keep adding more and more companions because as this is your Elder Scrolls experience, you should have more options for stuff like that. This is your story and you're playing it the way you want. So that's really cool. The Dreadsail Reef sounds really neat. If they've already had 12-person trials, I have not done them. So this is very interesting to me. I'd like to see this. It sounds like a raid or something, but it sounds really cool. The volcanic events, I don't have a frame of reference on what this is actually talking about, but I'm glad they're adding new world events. That's cool and exciting, and will make exploring the Sisters Archipelago exciting and new and fresh. So
have they added other companions that I missed, or is this companion 3 and 4?
I think this is 3 and 4, but let us know in the comments if you guys know. And yeah, the story sounds intriguing. I mean, it sounds a little basic, but also it's kind of nice because every once in a while you don't have to go to Oblivion and fucking stop some crazy shit from happening. So definitely sounds cool. And with how they're releasing these every year, they can tell a lot of stories, and they're all kind of set up to be these individual stories you can experience on your time. So I actually really kind of like the way ESO set up in that sense of like there is an overall story, but there's all these individual sections of the game that have their own stories, and so it kind of feels like you're going on your adventure, going through these stories when you decide to go there. So pretty cool. It actually took me a little bit when I first started getting back into ESO. I was like, where do I go? And I was like going through a place. I'm like, what am I doing here? And then I go to another place. And I start doing stuff there. I'm like, wait, when did these intersect? And then I'm like, wait, I think these are all like their own things, and you can just do them wherever the fuck you want. I was like, holy shit. Okay, I gotta like get rid of this quest line I've been working on in 3 different places because I'm not getting any of this in. So yeah, I got it down now. I understand how things work now, but it's a cool take on MMOs, and I'm actually really excited to hop back into ESO because for like most this year I've been wanting to play an MMO. We did Lost Ark for a little bit, and it was fun, but the end game did feel kind of like a wall, so that did make me fall out. Apparently they've worked on it since we played, but I don't know. So yeah, I'll probably hop back into ESO soon and re-explore that, although I gotta pay for another like half year of their system that gives you endless fucking crafting material inventory, all that shit. ESO Plus, yeah, because it's been a while since I played. So yeah, overall looking really cool, really excited to play this, and I can't wait to do so. Anything else you want to say on this?
Nope.
All right, let us know in the comments. Do you guys play ESO? Have you played it in the past? If you haven't played it, let me know why you don't play it. Have you, or are you interested in playing High Isle? And yeah, are you a lifer? You play this game a lot, or are you just someone who kind of hops in and dabbles left and right like me, or us? And yeah, let me know everything you're thinking about in the comments below when it comes to ESO and this thing they're adding. All right,
thing
so
they're adding.
this video we're gonna watch came out. Well, actually, this one came out 14 hours ago, but this has been out for like a week now. IGN got a scoop on showing off Sonic Frontiers for the first time for anybody to show it, and I've been holding off on watching it because I just didn't feel right in with all the episodes we had going and waiting for the taste cast to come up. So we're gonna play catch up. We're gonna watch this because by Thursday I will not have a chance to watch this. So it is time to check this out. In case you don't know, Sonic Frontiers is the long rumored open world Sonic game, finally confirmed. And yeah, this is IGN's first hands-on impressions of it. It's 8 minutes. We're going to watch it. We're going to see what we think of Sonic Frontiers. And yeah, I've seen a little bit of this game already. Where I'm coming from when it comes to Sonic is I grew up in the 90s as a kid, so I was definitely a fan of Sonic. I love Sonic 1 through 3, Sonic and Knuckles, Sonic Spinball, Sonic CD, Sonic Adventure, Sonic Adventure 2. And I think that's the Sonics I like. There's been a couple games after that are acceptable, but never great. And I just can't understand why Sega can't treat their biggest brand better. It's really weird. So I don't have any expectations for this. It could be completely horrible looking, and I wouldn't be surprised. And it could be kind of interesting looking, and I will not assume it's going to be great because why would I? The Sega hasn't handled it very well outside of Sonic Mania. I think was really good, but that was kind of a fun project that Team Sonic didn't work on. So maybe you should get someone else work on these games. So yeah, I'm actually really excited though. This is I think the first time Sonic has gone open world, and so that might give them some creative juices to do some new stuff. So I will remain open-minded, but I really, when it comes to Sonic has as a brand been I guess on life support for a long time. it's barely there. It's like, okay, yeah, you're keeping the brand alive, not giving us anything exciting, except for your new fan base that you've excited. The whole furry fan base really likes Sonic, so
Dang.
more power to them. You know, they grew up with this too, so they just view it a different way than I do. Yeah, so thoughts on Sonic and any anticipation for Frontiers?
I do have some anticipation. I have
You
also yep. Big reveal.
Just finding that out myself.
I think the idea of an open world Sonic game is super cool. I think it all comes down to how it's executed, obviously. So I haven't seen this. I don't know that much about it.
I already see something. We haven't watched this video yet, and I already see something that's kind of bothering me.
Ooh, this is really bothering me.
What?
Are you talking about this?
This, I mean, what we're looking at right now.
Yeah.
But no, specifically,
Okay.
this looks like an Unreal Engine tech demo already, just looking at it. And in the background, for anybody who's not watching with us and listening, in the background you can see like some almost like obstacle course Sonic-esque loops, but they're just kind of floating in the sky. Like somebody, like this is like them testing out the engine. It doesn't look like it's like, it doesn't look like an actual world. It's kind of weird, but we'll watch it and we'll figure it out.
Exactly what's bothering me about it. So
I'm glad we're on the same page. All right, so let's just watch it and then we can talk about it.
Sick, dude.
This is Sonic Frontiers preview, the first hands-on impressions in 3, 2, 1, and go.
Sonic's done a lot in 30 years. He's been a pioneer of the high-speed 2D platformer, an Olympic athlete, a respectable kart racing enthusiast, a fighter, a TV star, and a Hollywood blockbuster movie star as well. But he's never done open world, and Sonic Frontiers fixes to change that. I was fortunate enough to be one of the first people outside of Sonic Team to go hands-on with Sonic Frontiers, and let me just say, if you're worried about how the blue blur will fare in this unfamiliar genre, well, I think Crush 40 probably put it best. Open your heart, it's gonna be alright.
That doesn't give me any confidence.
no.
The first thing that struck me about Sonic Frontiers was how uniquely somber and serene it was right from the outset. After flying into a wormhole with Tails and Amy, Sonic finds himself separated from his friends and all
Looks
alone
lifeless.
on an isolated island,
Yeah.
with nothing but an AI voice guiding him to collect the Chaos Emeralds. There's no one for Sonic to bounce quips off of, no energetic Crush 40 soundtrack, just wide open fields as far as the eye can see. There's
a
an
cool
air of
way to
mystery
make
in
it
Sonic Frontiers,
to say it's
and it's a vibe
empty.
that's driven home even further by the beautiful yet minimalist piano melodies that accompany Sonic as he
That stuff
explores
just
the
loading
island.
in while he's running was not good looking. Hopefully this is like
Yeah.
a really early build. If this is an alpha, I'll be less judgmental of it. But like even like the plants aren't moving or anything he's running through, so it seems like so.
All of this is a very intentional choice. I asked Sonic Team
Lackluster.
head Takashi Iizuka
Reminds
to
like
describe
that
how the
girl on
tone
the
of
show we
Sonic
just
Frontiers
watched.
differs from previous Sonic games, and he said past
I don't
games
know
in the
what you're talking
Sonic
about.
series have taken different
Okay.
tones depending on their stories and themes. This time, these mysterious islands are the game's major setting. That's why our artists have worked hard to create a mysterious mood. Of course, the big new change in Sonic Frontiers is the shift from purely linear levels to a huge open world where Sonic can freely run in any direction. But Sonic Team doesn't like to use the term open world to describe Sonic Frontiers' gameplay,
Okay.
instead referring to its style as being open zone. Open world games like Zelda or other AAA games fundamentally have RPG or adventure worlds. For Sonic, the core here is a 3D action game. Our basic idea was to have that take place in open space. What sets Sonic Frontiers apart is this different approach to an open game world. Having played Sonic Frontiers for about 4 hours, it's easy to see what Iizuka-san means. Sonic Frontiers' open zone design is very different from any other open world I've played. It's a giant playground. Every few feet, there's a bumper spring that bounces you like a pinball between
Yeah,
5
but
other
what-
bumpers before
what
putting
is
you on one of
dictating
many
the
grinding
zone you're
rail
talking
tracks.
about, though?
Or a speed ramp that sets you on a
boy.
completely different path leading to some other collectible or reward. Or a line of rings that you can lightspeed dash into. Essentially, they've taken that core appeal of every Sonic level having multiple paths that eventually loop back around to the main one, and applied that to these giant non-linear open zones. One thing that has to be noted is that very few of these elements are built into the environmental design, meaning that rails, platforms, boost rings, and so on are just inexplicably floating in the air all around, which
Yeah, I hate
isn't
it.
totally unusual for a Sonic game, but it feels especially jarring in Frontiers in particular because of the
Yes.
frequent and sudden pop-in of these objects and the otherwise very naturalistic art style. Of course, it's worth emphasizing that this gameplay and the version that I played were from an early build, but this is definitely an area that I would hope to see improvement in the final version. Beyond that, there
I'm
are
fucking
also a
praying
wide
for that
variety of
because
puzzles
goddamn,
and challenges
it
that are
looks
littered
awful.
throughout the zone,
Yeah.
and completing them is how you uncover sections of your map. Most of these are very simple, requiring you to orient a statue the correct way, quickly hop back and forth between colored tiles, or use Sonic's new side loop ability to draw circles around certain objects in the environment to interact with them. The best ones, though, are the races against the clock where you have to get from point A to point B in a limited amount of time. The openness of Frontiers level design makes straightforward races like these a ton of fun, because you have to try and improvise a path to the end that
Where are
might not
enemies
be
at?
immediately obvious.
I,
You just run around like these open fields.
There are
I hate
some
how this
exceptions,
game looks.
but combat in traditional Sonic games generally isn't a thing that goes much deeper than jumping, rolling, or using a homing attack into enemies at the right time. That changes in Sonic
Yeah.
Frontiers, which now has you fighting all sorts of wandering enemies and mini-bosses using an all-new array of incredibly flashy attacks. It's not all style and no substance though. Sonic is able to quickly dodge using the bumper buttons on the gamepad, and by pressing them together, he can even parry attacks with the right timing. His homing attack also feels much more powerful, landing with a ton of impact and keeping Sonic stuck to his enemy, allowing for a flurry of follow-up strikes. One of the things that I really appreciate about the combat from what I played is that there are usually multiple ways to deal with specific enemies. Like, take for example this guy, who has an impenetrable shell that he can expand into spinning blades and throw at you. One way to deal with him is just to carefully time your homing attacks so you don't get hit by the blades. But if you do that, the window to damage him is small. To increase that window, you can either parry the blades and knock them away right before they hit you, or you can even use Sonic's side loop ability to encircle the enemy, which causes the shell to go flying upwards. Defeating these enemies will reward you with EXP that you can use to purchase new skills from a skill tree, which gives Sonic Frontiers a really nice feeling of power progression, even in just the relatively short amount of time that I played. Some of the later skills that you can get are just unbelievably cool, and it's super satisfying to see Sonic Team experiment with different ways that Sonic can attack enemies beyond just spins, jumps, and bumps.
Yeah, it
In
makes
addition
it
to
feel more
these smaller
modern.
enemies, there are also a
But-
handful of enormous world bosses that
Man,
I had
this
to
game
contend with.
is
These
jarring
are
to look
near
at.
Shadow of the Colossus-esque in their scale, with one in particular against a beast named Asura requiring Sonic to bait the Titan to slam the ground and then boost up its arm in order to reach the weak spots on its head. It's an ambitious boss battle, far beyond anything I've seen in the Sonic series to date, but it's also the part of the game that needs the most work. Far too often, I'd fly off the boss's arm without knowing why, or I'd get to the top and for some reason lack the momentum needed to actually reach the head. Sonic must hunt down and defeat these bosses in order to collect portal gears, which open up portals that lead to bite-sized linear stages,
Ooh, I hate
done in
that.
the style of previous Sonic games, giving Sonic Frontiers a nice mix of both old and new styles. These classic levels each come with a handful of optional goals, like beating the level under a certain time, collecting all the red rings, and so on, with each goal rewarding you with a vault key, which are needed to unlock the coveted Chaos Emeralds.
So for everybody listening, it's essentially a lot of sprawling grassy
Sonic
fields
Frontiers
with a
is an
bunch of
exciting
random
new
like
step
little
forward for
obstacle
the Sonic
courses for
series
Sonic
into
to go
uncharted
on
territory.
and slide
And based
around
on my
and
time with it,
run on loops
Sonic
and stuff.
Team
And then
seems to have hit upon a
in
winning formula.
most of the footage there's
There's
no
certainly
enemies, but
still
then
work
in the
to be
footage
done
that there is
before it's
enemies,
released
there's
during
like
the
3
holiday
guys in
season.
a huge
There's
open
a lot of
field, and
distracting
it almost seems like it has like
there's
a
a fair
lock-on
amount of bugs
system
still left to be squashed,
that
and
he's just
the
kind
big
of like
boss
doing
fights
typical
could do
Sonic
with
moves
some
to
tweaking.
attack, and
But
everything just
ultimately, my
seems like
time
it's a
with this
big,
early
huge
build
testing
answered the
arena
one question I
for
had on my
systems
mind.
that could be in a
Will
potential
Sonic's
game.
one-of-a-kind gameplay translate
But this
into an
doesn't
open
look
world?
like a game to
The
me.
answer is a resounding absolutely. Thanks for watching, and tune into IGN for more Sonic Frontiers coverage as part of IGN
I won't
First.
do. This is the last
And
video
for
I'm
everything
watching
else,
from
keep it
IGN
here
about Sonic.
on IGN.
This music's too tranquil too. It's like you're alone in a big field listening to this fucking music that's gonna put you to sleep.
It's putting me to sleep, dude.
All right, well that was Sonic Frontiers. What'd you think?
I didn't think much of it, honestly. I feel like the world looks super generic
Mhm.
and
I think
empty.
that's almost giving it too much credit.
Yeah, I these textures on these towers here, I really disliked. Yeah, the world feels super generic, and then they just like it's like they just took this like stock. I'm not saying that they did this, but it looks like they just took this like stock world and then just like pasted a bunch of like Sonic things in it. Even the comparison of like the like poles he's on and like the Sonic-y things against this world, it's like it's not the same thing. It's like they've pasted 2 completely different things together. Doesn't feel cohesive. So, I mean, I think like, oh, when he spins like that, dang, I don't know. I really wasn't that impressed with it overall. Obviously, if it's super early and they're making some changes and this is just like a demo kind of thing, then we'll see. But based off this alone, I'm not that excited about it.
Yeah. So yeah, I got a lot of things I'm thinking about when it comes to this. Overall, I don't think this game's going to do well if this is indicative of the final product. Not saying it is, but if it is, this isn't good. Because this feels like alpha footage, and it very well could be. So don't hold me to like, oh, it's, I think it looks like shit. But it does. Okay, so it looks like you just downloaded Unreal Engine 5 dev kit. And you're like, what can you do on Unreal Engine 5? And you're like, let's make some basic like geometry. Let's make some fucking fields. Let's throw some rocks in. We got the rock models. We just throw those here, there. Do some hills. Oh, what's the water physics like? Well, let's just throw some water in this fucking river area and make it flow. Oh, that's really cool. Okay, so we're making a Sonic game. Yeah, we're gonna make a Sonic game. It's open world. Okay, cool. What do we do with like all the loop-to-loop stuff? Well, there's a lot of space. Just throw them in here. Okay, I can do that. But what about enemies? Well, I mean, just put them there and put them there. Well, let's just see what the combat's like. Like, let's make a combat system. Okay, cool. What happens? Well, you kind of like lock on and you get some moves. What kind of moves? Well, let's make some fucking moves. How do you get them? Well, you get experience. Just unlock the skills and, story. Well, don't worry about the story yet. Let's just get this fucking open world made. That's what it feels like. It feels like we're at that step in the development and we're seeing it. I am glad that they're feeling confident enough to show it off, but it does feel like it's like super early. And don't get me wrong, like an open world Sonic game sounds cool. And the idea of leveling up and getting new moves that we have not had in other Sonic games is really cool sounding. But what we're seeing visually is not it. It's not it. Like, it feels generic. It feels like they're slapping some shit together. It is a big open area. They're calling it zones. They still didn't really describe that a whole lot too much. Like the first thing I thought of when they said that is like how Metal Gear Solid 5 had zones. It's not a fully open world game. It's like these big, huge maps you load into, which I thought was cool. Didn't mind that. But then they're just talking about like zones. They put all these things for you to do in these areas. I'm like, that's any open world game. What do you mean? What's the zone? So anyway, that just seems weird. And this is a big deal for me because there's better looking games that don't do this. There's a shitload of pop in. There's a lot of things just popping in nonstop, and it looks really bad. And it's only like 50 feet out. It's not even that far out. And so in a game that's basically a grassy field with foliage that's not moving, it's just Sonic running and no enemies, there are objects popping in 50 feet away from him regularly. That doesn't look good. So let's fucking hope and pray that this is like, they literally just started making this. They're just kind of showing up like, hey, it's going to be open world. That's cool, right? Yeah, hopefully as long as it's better looking than this, like fucking you better work on this shit. Because I'm not impressed. All that being said, I sound super negative. I hope they can deliver something good with this. Like I said, the concept sounds cool. Sonic could go open world easily. And one thing I was thinking of, but I didn't see it. I think you could do speed really well in an open world. But it's missing. It's missing so much from like the visual style outside of Sonic's in a field. It's missing the style of Sonic. Where's an industrial area? Where's a city area? Where's I guess we got the grassy fields here, but this isn't even like Sonic looking. This is just such a basic fucking hilly field. This looks like a last gen game with next gen lighting.
This is High Isle, dude.
Yeah, this could be High Isle. I don't even know. This could be ESO. This could be any fucking game. And then the boss designs, though I do appreciate they're trying to make them almost like something you have to work at to get to certain things, like the giant boss we're seeing here, that you're actually like running up and stuff. That's neat. But they're all fucking... They're not even interesting looking. Every enemy type, like one was just a bunch of balls. You could break the balls off and hit the center. It's like, that's not interesting.
Why are they in this field?
Yeah, that's a great question. Like, you're Sonic in a field, and you run into these guys in a field, and you're like, these motherfuckers are going to try and kill me. I better kill them first.
Fucking on vacation in the High Isles.
Yeah. So, this has left me with more questions than answers, outside of just confirming that there is indeed an open world Sonic game that is hopefully early in development. But this has not really restored my faith in the possibility of getting a good Sonic game. Though it does look better than some of the other Sonic games. So let's kind of take that I don't know if that's an insult or a compliment to any games. Even the fucking explosion and the smoke looked like 2D. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know if this is Sega going like, how the fuck do we make a good Sonic game? Like, we haven't figured it out yet. Well, what are modern games like? Well, you level up and they're open world. Do that. But what's going to be special about this? Just do what everybody else is doing. We got to do that, and we can sell Sonic. And then they're kind of half-assing it, because nothing here looks high quality. Nothing. The lighting's good, but dude, one person is making crazier looking shit in Unreal Engine 5 by themselves in their fucking basement. I mean, like, then a whole dev team working on this. So I'm not impressed. So yeah, I'm not going to sit here and just bitch about it anymore. It's just like, it's fucking crazy to me that we're here. Like looking at a new open world Sonic game and going like, is that really all you fucking got? This was met 2 generations ago. This game would have existed back then by anybody else. So anyway, I'm done.
It's hard to take this seriously.
Yeah, it's wild. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah. It's almost confusing to me, like why this is.
I'm getting more.
Who watched this and was like, let's show this to people?
Somebody was excited. The guy at IGN was excited. But I think he's excited because they're like, you could be the first one to, we're going to sacrifice you.
Nailed it.
To show this game off. Everybody's going to hate you for showing this.
10 out of 10 Deathloop.
So yeah, let me be clear one last time. I hope this is early build. I hope this is, when it comes out, much better. Because the potential of an open world Sonic game could be very cool. It's just what I'm seeing right now is not the game that I would be looking forward to playing. And especially when he said like, oh, you just gotta have faith, man. Open your heart. And just look like, no.
I know, that was so weird in the beginning.
I'm
like they were trying to pre-convince us that this was going to be good.
Just keep an open mind, man. No, dude.
Just love this.
Make a good game and sell it, dude. Fucking Elden Ring didn't have to open anyone's mind. Like they dropped that fucking game and people loved it. Mm-hmm. Make a good game. That's all you got to do. So yeah, that's pretty much where I am at when it comes to Sonic Frontiers. Didn't expect much from it, and I didn't get much from it. So, you have anything else to say?
I don't want to look at this anymore.
Damn. All right. Well, let us know in the comments what you guys think of Sonic Frontiers. Did you like it? I don't want to make you feel like you can't talk about it, so let me know in the comments what did you like about it, what was good about it. But if you didn't like it, let me know as well what you didn't like about it. Do you have concerns for it? Are you feeling good about it? Do you think that this is an early build and so it'll probably be a lot better by the time it comes out? Or do you think this is kind of indicative of what we're going to get from it? And if there's any details that we are missing from this conversation, please let us know, enlighten us on some stuff that maybe has been said that we didn't do the research on because I'm not looking into this. And yeah, join the conversation when it comes to Sonic Frontiers. And yeah, I think that's going to do it for this Tasty Cast. We are skipping the comment section. We didn't get a whole lot of them this last week, but also I'm trying to condense the episode a little bit so I have time to prep for all the shit we will be doing later this week. So make sure to come back Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, when we are going to be doing streams for all things I guess game reveals. I was gonna say E3, but E3 is not happening, although it's happening next year, I guess. We'll see. So yeah, join us for that. We got plenty of content coming out this week. We will be reacting to all that stuff. So starting with Summer Game Fest and Devolver's fucking freak show, whatever they have coming out. So yeah. That's good for this episode of Tastecast. As always, thank you for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this episode. Make sure to check out our other episodes. Check us out on our streams and our socials linked down below. Check out our Discord. You can talk to us anytime, all time. We're on iTunes, Spotify, and other podcast platforms if you prefer to listen to us in audio form. And we have a Patreon if you'd like to support us more than liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing if you're brand new. Sarah, thank you for joining me. Thank you for filling in for Chevy, and hopefully we have you on another Tastecast in the future. And yeah, I've been Seth. Until the next episode, have a good one, guys, and see you Thursday.